You can fake a smile. You can script a compliment. But the eyes never lie. Eye contact isn't just a glance, it's a signal, a whisper from the soul before the mind even catches up. I'm Vernon. Today, I'll walk you through 4 ways someone's eyes quietly reveal, "I'm into you." These aren't the obvious stares or flirtatious winks you see in movies. These are the subtle, honest moments when someone's guard is down and their heart does the talking. If you've ever wondered what someone's hesitation, their lingering glance, or that soft look really meant, this one's for you. Because at our age, we don't have time for guessing games. We deserve clarity. We deserve to trust what we see. Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe to join our community of women who are done second-guessing themselves. We're here to decode the language of connection, one truth at a time. Let's begin with the first way someone's eyes betray their feelings.
Number 1. The lingering look. Imagine this. You're talking, maybe sharing a story, and when you finish, they don't immediately look away. Their gaze stays. Not in a way that makes you uncomfortable. It's soft, curious, focused, like they're trying to memorize something about this moment. This is the lingering look, and it's one of the most honest forms of attraction you'll ever encounter. Psychologically, when someone holds your gaze just a moment longer than social convention suggests, something deeper is happening. Their subconscious mind is saying, "I don't want this connection to end." There's an emotional pull they can't quite name, an admiration they haven't given themselves permission to feel. You see, most of us are trained to look away quickly. It's polite. It's safe. But when someone lingers, they're fighting that social programming. They're choosing connection over comfort. And that choice, that's where attraction lives. The real lover is the man who can thrill you by kissing your forehead, or smiling into your eyes, or just staring into space. As Marilyn Monroe once said, she understood something profound. True attraction isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's in the quiet moments, when someone simply can't look away. My neighbor, Mary Ann, told me about this. She was 64, recently widowed, and had started having coffee with a man from her book club. She said, "When I talk, he stays with me, even after I stop speaking, like he's still listening to something I didn't say out loud." That's the lingering look in action. It's not about what you've said. It's about who you are when you're saying it. It's about the person behind the words and how they make someone feel seen, understood, valued. The beautiful thing about this type of eye contact is its honesty. You can't fake a lingering look. You can't script the soft focus in someone's eyes when they're genuinely drawn to you. It happens because in that moment, looking away feels like losing something precious. What I want you to remember is that if someone is giving you the lingering look, trust it. Don't talk yourself out of what you're seeing. Don't convince yourself it's politeness or coincidence. Your intuition knows the difference between courtesy and connection. Share this with someone who's been wondering, did that look mean something, or was it in my head? Because the answer is almost always, yes, it meant something, and no, it wasn't in your head. The lingering look reveals quiet, unmistakable attraction. But not all glances are so bold. Sometimes desire hides behind hesitation. That's where we're headed next.
Number 2, the glance then look away pattern. There's a kind of woman whose strength is quiet, whose presence is steady, and whose heart still hopes to be chosen, not just noticed. It's hard to forget Helen. I first met her at a weekend retreat for community volunteers. She was 61, radiating calm confidence and a warmth that drew people in. She told me about her coffee chats with Tom, her neighbor. Nice conversations, comfortable silences, but Helen noticed something. He kept glancing at her, then quickly looking away when she caught him. At first, she thought maybe he was distracted, or worse, that she had something on her face. But then she realized the pattern. He'd look at her while she was talking, really look, with softness, with interest. But the moment she met his gaze, he'd dart his eyes away like a teenager caught staring. Helen used to dismiss these cues. "I'm too old for games," she'd think. But then she understood. This wasn't a game. This was vulnerability. The glance then look away pattern is one of the most endearing signs of attraction, especially in mature relationships. It happens when someone is drawn to you but feels uncertain about how you'll respond. Maybe they're worried about being presumptuous. Maybe they're scared of rejection. Maybe they're simply out of practice with these feelings. This behavior is a subtle display of restrained attraction. Their heart wants to connect, but their mind is protecting them from potential disappointment. So they steal moments, glances when they think you're not looking, quick studies of your face, your expressions, the way you move your hands when you speak. It's actually quite beautiful when you understand it. This person finds you so compelling that they can't help but look, yet so precious that they're afraid to be caught looking. There's a tenderness in that contradiction, a respect that speaks to deeper feelings. Helen eventually addressed it directly, in her gentle way. During one of their coffee dates, when Tom glanced away after being caught looking, she simply said, "It's okay to look at me, you know. I like it when you do." The relief on his face, the way his shoulders relaxed, it was like giving someone permission to breathe. That's the thing about the glance then look away pattern. It's often less about the person being shy and more about them being considerate. They're trying to honor your space while honoring their own feelings. They're navigating the delicate balance between interest and intrusion. John Updike wrote, "We are most alive when we're in love." And sometimes that aliveness is so intense, so overwhelming, that we can only handle it in small doses, in stolen glances and quick looks away. If you're noticing this pattern with someone, consider it a gift. They're showing you that you have an effect on them, that your presence matters enough to make them a little nervous, a little careful, a little hopeful. When attraction is wrapped in uncertainty, it often shows up in fleeting glances. But when those glances start to carry light, warmth, and joy, something deeper begins to bloom. Let's explore that. Number 3, the smile-eye combo. The eyes are the mirror of the soul, they say. And nowhere is this truer than in the smile-eye combination. You know the moment I'm talking about. When someone sees you and their entire face changes. Not just their mouth curving upward, but their eyes lighting up, softening, warming from the inside out. This isn't the polite smile we give cashiers or the practiced smile we use in photographs. This is the smile that starts in the soul and radiates outward. It's the classic eyes light up when they see you moment. And it's one of the most reliable indicators of genuine affection. Scientifically, we call this a Duchenne smile, named after the French neurologist who first studied it. It involves not just the muscles around the mouth, but the orbicularis oculi muscles around the eyes. You literally cannot fake this type of smile. It's neurologically impossible to produce on command without genuine positive emotion. But there's more happening here than just muscle movement. When someone's eyes light up upon seeing you, their pupils often dilate slightly, an unconscious response to something or someone they find appealing. There's a softening in their gaze, a warmth that seems to envelop you. It's as if their entire being is saying, "You're here," and that makes everything better. This type of eye contact reveals emotional openness and an unconscious sense of safety around you. When someone looks at you this way, they're not just happy to see you. They're comfortable enough to let that happiness show completely. There's no guard up, no performance, no pretense. Just pure, honest delight in your presence. I've seen this countless times in my years of observing human connection. The woman whose eyes crinkle with genuine joy when her partner walks into the room, even after decades together. The man whose face transforms when his love interest appears at the coffee shop door. It's instantaneous, involuntary, and absolutely beautiful. What makes this particularly meaningful at our stage of life is its rarity. We've learned to be more careful with our emotions, more protective of our hearts. We don't light up for just anyone anymore. So when someone's eyes genuinely brighten at the sight of you, when that authentic joy crosses their face, it means something significant. The smile-eye combo also creates what psychologists call limbic resonance, an unconscious synchronization of emotional states. When someone looks at you with this genuine warmth, you can't help but feel it too. It's contagious in the most wonderful way, creating a feedback loop of positive emotion and connection. Tag someone who lights up when they see you, or used to. Because recognizing this response in others and learning to trust it when you see it is part of emotional intelligence. It's part of allowing ourselves to be loved and appreciated exactly as we are. Joy in someone's eyes is powerful, but the truest connections are often tested not in joy, but in vulnerability. The next type of gaze tells you who's willing to stay when things get real. Number 4. The held gaze during vulnerability. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage, Lao Tzu once observed. And nowhere is this truth more evident than in the held gaze during vulnerability. Let me tell you about Diane. She's 59, elegant, with the kind of grace that comes from weathering life's storms with dignity. She'd been cautiously dating after losing her husband 2 years prior. Careful, tentative steps back into the world of connection. One evening, over dinner with a man she'd been seeing for a few weeks, the conversation turned personal. She found herself talking about Robert, her late husband. Not just the loss, but the love, the laughter, the way he used to hum while making breakfast. Heavy topics, the kind that can make people uncomfortable, that can send them reaching for their phones or changing the subject. But this man, David, didn't flinch. He didn't rush in with advice or platitudes. He simply looked at her, really looked at her, with a soft, steady gaze that seemed to say, "I see your pain, and I'm not afraid of it. I see your love, and I honor it." Diane told me later, "In that moment, I felt truly seen, not pitied, not fixed, not rushed through my grief, just witnessed. And his eyes never wavered." This is the held gaze during vulnerability, and it's perhaps the most profound form of eye contact between two people. It happens in moments of truth, when someone shares something real, something tender, something that matters. And instead of looking away in discomfort, the other person leans in with their presence. Such glances reflect deep emotional intelligence and a sincere desire to connect. It shows that someone can sit with difficult emotions, yours and their own, without needing to escape or fix or minimize. They're comfortable with depth, with authenticity, with the full spectrum of human experience. This gaze says, "I see you, all of you, and I'm not going anywhere." It's the eye contact that transforms attraction into something deeper: understanding, acceptance, love. What makes this particularly powerful is its rarity. In our fast-paced, surface-level world, most people look away from vulnerability. They get uncomfortable with tears, with heavy topics, with anything that requires emotional presence. But when someone holds your gaze during these moments, they're giving you a gift, the gift of being fully met in your humanity. For David, that moment with Diane wasn't about romantic strategy or making the right impression. It was about recognizing that her vulnerability was sacred, that her story mattered, that her capacity to love deeply, even in loss, was something to be honored, not hurried past. This type of eye contact often marks the moment when attraction deepens into something more sustainable, more real. It's the gaze that says you're safe to be yourself, complicated emotions and all.
By now, you've likely come to recognize 4 ways someone's eyes quietly reveal their feelings. The lingering look that says, "I don't want this moment to end." The glance, then look away pattern that shows considerate attraction. The smile-eye combo that radiates genuine joy in your presence. And the held gaze during vulnerability that promises, "I see you and I'm not going anywhere." Each of these forms of eye contact tells a story. They speak of interest, of care, of the delicate dance of two hearts learning to trust again. At our age, we've earned the right to recognize these signals, to trust our intuition, to believe what we see. Whether it's a glance, a stare, or a quiet moment shared across a table, the eyes give away what the heart is still learning to say. The soul, fortunately, has an interpreter, often an unconscious but still a faithful interpreter, in the eye, Charlotte Brant reminded us. And she was right. Our souls speak through our gaze long before our minds catch up. What's the most unforgettable look someone's ever given you, and did you miss it at the time? I'd love to hear your stories of connection, recognition, and the beautiful language of the eyes. Share it in the comments below. Before you leave, make sure to like and subscribe so you'll always stay connected to meaningful insights on love, attraction, and connection after 60. And if you're ready to dive deeper, check out the recommended videos linked in the description for more tips and real-world advice on dating, attraction, and emotional intelligence after 60. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching my video.